was a military parade that was inspected by then-leader Chairman Mao Zedong. Significant military personnel numbers were involved, but the military equipment on display rather limited at the time. That is certainly not the case now. We have a military expert who is joining me here in Beijing to talk about the military prowess of modern China. Tong Zhao is a senior fellow at the Carnegie Tsinghua Center, and he joins us once again. Tong, a number of pieces of equipment got your attention as you were watching all of this unfold. What were the 3 pieces of equipment, new weaponry, that got your eye?
Well, the top one is absolutely the DF-41 new intercontinental ballistic missile that reportedly can carry more than 1 warhead by each missile and may be able to be armed with penetration aids and decoys, which can be used to confuse enemy missile defenses, so they have a better capability than any other Chinese strategic long-range missiles to defeat and penetrate missile defense. The second one, I think, should be the DF-13, which is the new hypersonic boost glider missile. And I have to emphasize, this is the first type of such missile that is deployed in this across the world. So China is now ahead of any other country in this area. And this missile, after being launched, wouldn't follow a traditional ballistic trajectory. It can change its trajectory and maybe even make cross-range maneuvers, again, making it harder for the enemy to predict and to defend against. The third one, I think, could be the new model of China's strategic bomber, which is sometimes called the H-6N model. If we look closely at the image of this new strategic bomber, we can see it has an empty underbelly, which is because it is making space to carry a very large new air-launched ballistic missile. And some people believe such missiles can be very powerful because they can attack enemy large surface ships, including American aircraft carriers.
So China has unveiled its new arsenal. You just listed 3 of them that caught your attention: the DF-41 intercontinental ballistic range missile, as well as new bombers. How should China's military rivals, namely the United States, interpret these military advances?
Well, I think firstly we need to look at it from the Chinese perspective. So according to Beijing, which views that the United States is right now on the offense to try to contain China, to prevent China from further rising and further developing into a rich and prosperous country. And due to this perception, this public display of many new and strategic weapons serves to send the signal that China is capable of deterring any external threat. So it is meant to be a self-defensive message, but from the perspective of other countries, including the United States, it could very well be interpreted as a Chinese effort to acquire unprecedented military superiority and to drive the American militaries away from the West Pacific region. So this perception gap is the key and is actually fueling this growing bilateral competition and rivalry.
I wanted to ask you about the DF-41 missile, that ICBM. Is this an intercontinental range missile that could technically reach the continental United States?
Yes, this missile reportedly has a very large payload capacity, which means it can carry many warheads and can deliver them, to over very long distances, and is fully capable of reaching the entire U.S. continent. And that's the exact purpose of such missiles. It is aimed to be able to hold the most critical assets of the United States at risk. So it helps enhance Chinese strategic deterrent.